Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining you the problem like the Bitset, and it was asked in Codeforces Round 1046 for division 2. So let's read out the problem. You are given a binary string s of length n as well as an integer k. So what is binary string? A binary string is a string where each character is either 0 or 1. Okay. Aquawave wants to construct a permutation, okay, p of length n, so that for each I greater than equals to 1 less than equals to n, where s of I is equal to 1, the following holds. Okay, since yeah, string is binary either 0 or 1, so this condition will be dealing only for when s of I is 1 and for every s of 1. So for each I greater than equals to 1 less than equals to 1, where s of I is 1, we will be dealing with this condition. Okay. So what they're saying, for each interval left L comma R, wherein L is greater than equals to 1 and less than equals to R is greater than equals to L, less than equals to less than equals to N, whose length is at least K. If length is at least K, when we are taking integer, since it is one based indexing, so your interval length is given by R minus L plus 1. That is true, and that should be at least K, which is greater than equals to K. If it covers position I belongs to left greater than equals to, I greater than equals to left less than equals to R, then the maximum element among PL to PR is not P of I. Okay, got it. So now that there are no such constraints on indices with s of I is equal to 0. Okay, so when s of I is equal to 0, you don't need to do anything. There's no any constraint on that. You have to find such a permutation and determine that such permutation do not exist. Okay, if the permutation exists, we'll have to print yes, and we have to display the permutation as said here. And if there's no such permutation, so you'll have to print no. Okay, and let's understand what is permutation. A permutation of length n is an array consisting of n distinct integers from 1 to n in arbitrary order. For example, 2 3 1 5 4 is a permutation, but 1 2 2 is not a permutation because 2 appears twice in the array. Okay, got it. So I'll tell you. So we have 6 test cases. In the first test case, n is 2, k is 1. Let's try to deal this. So in the first example, n is 2, k is 1, and your string is having 0, 0. Now their question is, we'll have to construct a permutation of length n. If you try to see permutation of in the array, you will be having 1 2 3 up to till n integers, and this 1 will appear only one time, 2 will appear only one time, 3 will appear only one time. This is the case. So this is your array actually, and if you happen to arrange in some other way, let's say 1 3 2 up to so on till n minus 1, n minus 1, basically the elements are from 1 to n only. So if you happen to arrange in any permutation, so that array you will have to return. And when you're doing this permutation, there is a catch that so in the s position, let's say you have 1 0 1 0 1, something like this you have, and whenever you find that s of I is 1, let's say s of I is 1, which means this at this particular position you have 1. Whenever 1 is there and given a k value, so you will be taking some intervals. That interval length for a given k, this k is given, right? For a given t, take intervals. Take intervals from left to right, and both are inclusive. That's why I'm writing square bracket. So left to right, you will be taking integer intervals, and whose length is at least k. And whose length is at least k. So its length will be given by r minus l plus 1, that is greater than equals to k. And if it happens that when you're taking, let's say here k is 3, when your k is 3, you have taken, let's say, now you're dealing with the 0th index, and you have taken interval from, sorry, it is one based indexing, I'll call it one only. So indexes are this way. Okay, so these are indexes. You have chosen the first index. Now your left is here, right is here, so its length is r minus l plus 1 we are taking, which is 3 minus 1 plus 1, so it is 3, length is 3, and it should be greater than equals to k is also 3, right? So this is a valid one. So if you choose this valid interval, in this case, if you see in this interval, you are taking care of I also, because my pointer is this position, which is I. So if this is the case, then the greatest element among this, in the permutation whatever you will be taking, it shouldn't be at this position. That's the thing. Meaning, let's say I want to make something like this: 1 2 3 4 5. So this is, let's say you have chosen one of the permutation because it is having length 5. So when you're choosing this interval, and at this position, your in the S you have 1. So at this position, if you see in the interval, the maximum value is 3, right? In this maximum value is 3, so it is not present at this, so you will say it is a valid one, good. But when you try to take this one, you will take consider this also, and since k is 3, let's say, so you will be taking one more interval in this way. But in this, if you see, your maximum value is 3, and which is at this position only, position at 1. So this is not a valid one. So what you will be doing is you will be taking 3 at this position, let's say you are taking 2 at this position. Now if you see, in the first case, your maximum in this is 3, and this is which is not present at this position. When you are considering this one, you are taking care of maximum again. So in this, maximum is 3, so, and which is not present at this position. So not only these intervals you will be taking this interval as well. So let's say you're taking all this. In this, maximum is 4, which is not present at this position, right? Now let me take I'm considering, let's say, this position. If I am considering this position, so your interval can be 3, because k interval can be greater than equals to k. So it is equals to k, which means in this 3 length subarray, your maximum element is 5, and which is present at 1, because when I'm dealing with this one, so for every s of I being 1, you will have to deal with this. So this is not a valid. What you will do is you will be erasing this. Let's say you put 4 here, and then let's say I'll put 5 here. This one I'm just trying to explain you, but actually what I'll be doing, I'll be telling you. So there is a observation here, so you need to, that's why I'm explaining you. So whenever you do this now, and now it happens to uh, you can see that this is one of the valid interval, so in which we are having lesser value only. In this, greater value is 5, which is not present at this position. So in this way, you will have to make the permutations and check if it is valid or not. But we will not be doing this way, because if we try to do this way, our complexity will be a lot. So how do we do this now is the question. So here the catch is main k. This is the hint, and if you guys can solve it, pause the video and solve it. But this is one of the hint I'll tell you. So whenever k is 1 in the string, you shouldn't have consecutive ones of length k. If the consecutive ones is lesser than k, right, consecutive ones is lesser than k, then that is a valid one. I'll be telling you why. So in this case, if you see, you have k1, and if you see in the string you don't have any one. If let's say your string was 0 and 1, right, so in that case your answer wouldn't be valid, because you have one consecutive k. And why, I'll be proving you. So we have, let's say now here 0 0 only, so you can put anything 1 2 or 2 1. Since there is no one, so there is no question of this greater thing, interval thing. You don't have to deal with. Let's say your s is 0 comma 1. Now if you take 1 comma 2 or 2 comma 1, so your interval will be at least 1, right? Because k is 1, so interval will be at least 1. So if you're dealing with this one, and yeah, when you're dealing with this one, because you have 1 at this position, so let's deal with this problem. So when you have at this position, so you'll be taking at least one subarray, and in one, if you have only one element, that is the only max. So this will not hold, right? This will not hold true, because what they're saying is that in the interval, when you're dealing with I position, so at that I position there shouldn't be any maximum element that they're saying, right? So it is not a valid. If you try to think of this as a valid, again same thing will happen, because one is there, so you will not be able to do it. And if you happen to choose 2, in this case 2 is 1, which is not present here, that is true. But when you're dealing with you'll have to deal with all the intervals, right? Even if in at least one interval you find that the position wherein 1 is there, at that position the maximum element is present, so you will not be dealing with this. So 0 comma 0 is a trivial case wherein you don't have any ones. You can display the answer in any order. So for displaying the order also, I'll be explaining you how I'll be doing that. So catch is that there shouldn't be k consecutive ones. Let's try to deal with this example. 43001. We have n as 4, we have 0010, k as 3. We have s here. So now if you try to think of k is 3, we shouldn't be having 3 number of k's. If let's say you have this, you can't be able to solve this problem. Why? Because see, if that is the case, you let us put 1 2 3 at these positions, and 4 5 6 at this position. Let's say you want to make in this way, because in the question what they're saying is, at these positions maximum element shouldn't be there, so that's why I'll be inserting the minimum elements. Whatever minimum elements you have, you just insert it there. So your k is now, let's say 3. I'm not dealing with this one, I'm dealing with this in order to explain you. So whenever k, I mean consecutive ones and k are equal, so in that case your at least interval will be this one, right? So in this one, if you see, this is the maximum element among this interval, and for this I, you are not dealing with the condition what they said in the question. In the question what they said is, the elements PL to PL plus 1 up till PR, this PI, if it is belonging to PL till PR, this shouldn't be max, not max, right? This shouldn't be max. So when all the elements are consecutive elements are equals to or greater than 3, so in that case you are dealing with such a condition, because any number you put it there, so you will be having consecutives. You'll have to take that consecutives also, because in the question they have said your consecutives, I mean intervals, is greater than equals to k. So when it is equals to, so you will be dealing with this interval, and in this interval it happens to be that at least one element is greater in this, right? So that is the reason, like I think you guys got to know to what is this problem about. But and one more thing was that what elements, I mean which order you want to print it. So in this problem only I have told you, like whenever 1 is there from left hand side, we just try to insert from 1 to 1, then next 2, then 3, because your permutation will be from 1 to n. I mean permutation values from element values will be from 1 to n. You will be inserting 1 2 3, and whenever 0 is there from left hand side, how many ones will be there in the entire array? Let's say you have one more 1 here, so what in that case, it's like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. you have 7, right? N is 7. So what you will be doing is 1 2 3 you have inserted, you will be inserting 4, then you will start with 5, 5 6 7. If you do this way, so now let's say your k is 4, so you don't have any consecutive 4s, so at least you will be taking the 4 length intervals, right? So in that case, when you are inserting k ones with the lowest possible value, all the ones are inserted with 1 2 3 4, which means all I have taken the I mean, like at 0 position, whatever value you are inserting will be highest than the value at the 1. So highest value at 1 position is 4 and lowest value at 0 position is 5, which is greater than that, which means any value you will be inserting around this 1 will be having max value only. And whenever this consecutives ones is lesser than k, in that case you need to take at least element from the 0th position and that value is greater, right? So this will be a valid combination. I think I have told you how to do it, but let me do with this case now. So in this case our k is 3. So if k is 3, what you will be doing, you first want to check how many consecutives are there. So you have only one consecutive which is less than 3, so this will be a valid combination. So for valid combination, what you will be doing, you will be taking this 1 wherever is there, you insert with 1, and you have only one, so now zeros positions element you have to fill. So now you start with 2 because total number of ones is 1. So 0 number positions will be total ones plus 1, that will be starting. Total 1 is 1, total 1 plus 1 is like 2, so you will be starting with 2 2 3 4 if you do. So this is valid combination. Now if you see in this case, your case 3, so let's choose, you are dealing with this one position, so you will be choosing these 3 as a interval. So in this case max is 3, which is not present at this position. Now one more case will be this one, max is 4, which is not present at this case. One more will be this one, maximum is 4, which is not present at this position. So this is a valid one. In the problem, I think they have given some random order, which is also correct, but you'll have to find some pattern in order to solve this, right? So yeah, they have given this order. This order is also true, but we will be doing the way I said. Let's deal with this example. I think you guys got to know, right? So when k is to 2 and you have consecutive 2's, which means even if you insert any element like 3 4 4 3 something like that, you basically you will be taking 2 interval, right? So in this 2 interval, 4 is maximum. So when you're dealing with this 4 is maximum, right? So for this position, this condition does not holds. So that is the reason this is not a valid one. Even you find at least a continuous one wherein k is greater than equals, I mean that consecutive ones are greater than equals to k, so in that case your answer is not valid. So in this case you will have to print no. So yeah, it is no. Let's try to deal this one, and I'll be coding up. So we have 8 and 4, 0 0 1 0. We have s as 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 1. Here n is 8 and k is 4. So now if you try to see, we have consecutive 1 1 which is less than 4, which is true. Here also we have 2, so which is less than 4. So this is, in this case we can find a valid permutation. So how will you start? You will start total number of ones you have 4, so you will be taking 1 one variable basically, which is a counting variable. If you find one, what variable you will be inserting? So one always will start with 1, and this 0 variable will always start with 1 2 3 4 and then next one, fifth. So now you will be running through a loop, and whenever you find 0, you will be displaying this 0, which is 5, and you will be increased by it by 1. You have again 0, display it, increase it by 1. You have 1, display 1, increase it by 2. You have 0, display 0, increase it by 1. You have 1, display 1, increase it by 1. You have 0, this displays 0, increase it by 1. You have 1, display 1, increase it by 1. You have 1, display 1, increase it by 1. So when you see here n is 8, all the numbers are in between 1 to 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And if you try to choose at least k length, which means for this one, if you want to deal with, this is the one you are dealing, you're taking this for this any combination you take. So this at this position you will not be having the maximum elements, as I explained previously. Like when there is no consecutive ones having greater than equals to k, which means at least one element will be at 0th position, which we are starting with the um, like next higher elements, meaning whatever number of ones are there. So I'll be starting with the 5, right? So any number that will be presented at 0 will have more than the number present at 1. So I think you guys got to know how to solve this. Let's try to code it up. First they'll give test cases, then n and k. So test case is dealt here. We have n, k, and they'll give a string of length n. So first what we'll do is we'll take one variable, total one count, which is 0. You will take one count, which is also 0. Total one count what I am taking, I'll be telling you. So now you will run a loop, and you will find if this character is equals to 1, which means total one count will increase and one count will increase, else your one count will be 0, meaning if you find 0 at the in the string, so your consecutive ones are broken down, right? So you will be initializing it 0. Now you need to find out that if this one count is greater than equals to k, so our answer is not possible. So you will have to, let's say, directly display here, display no, handle and return from this function, right? This one will take care of any consecutive ones are there or not. Now once when you come out of the loop, which means there are no consecutive ones wherein it was greater than equals to k, so we have one of the combination. So once you have the combination, you'll have to display first we have the combination by saying yes. Now your take two variables, one and which will always start with 1, and one more variable 0, which will start with total one count plus 1, as I showed in the board. So now again you will be displaying the permutation. So for that you will be iterating through this binary string s, and if you find that this character is 1, so you will be displaying this 1 and increasing it by 1 later, else you will be displaying 0 and increasing it by 1 later. So this will basically display 1 and it will increase next. Okay, so yeah, once you have displayed, so this will take care of everything. Let's try to submit it, run it. Here it will give failed because they have given some of the order, so which is not in our order. Okay, one thing we'll have to take care of that. Don't display handle, display one space. And when you're coming out of the loop, display handle, because because you're dealing with multiple test cases, so the answer should not collide. So let's try to submit this code and see if it is running. What is the problem name? Like the Bitset. Let's try to submit. So yeah, it is saying you have submitted the exactly same code as before. So okay, think same code as before. Okay, yeah, it got accepted. Like today is 29th. uh, it is 29th, and I've submitted around 9:35. So yeah, it got accepted. So I think if you guys just display this, I mean solve this problem, this will help. Yeah, once you understood, please like and comment. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.